Well, welcome
Citizens
to our
of the
countdown
world.
to the election. Um, pretty soon we're going to be entering into those last 2 weeks where, at least in Missouri and in many places across the country, you can vote early, which probably is a really good idea to do. Voting early, which means,
Mhm.
you got to do a little research because there's a lot of judges, at least here, we got a lot of judges to decide. And, I think we've learned that you can't just automatically vote. You got to really know who the judges are, because some of those judges really are in the way of some of the things that we value.
Mhm.
And so really important to do some research on women. uh,
You get that
what do
right,
you call it?
sister?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of places you can look.
Yeah.
League of Women Voters. League of Women Voters has a really good voters guide, and
Yeah.
on their website. So lots of good places to look to see what we're going to do.
And right here.
And here's another good
There
place to
you
look.
go. This is
Yeah,
what
I
we're
was going to
talking
share
about.
one thought and then have you do a reading. So we're really in the path of saintliness. We've Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, gives us this
The Ramchal, our man.
right from the Talmud that says, there is a path you can take to saintliness, to being a better person is really what it's about.
Yeah.
And we've been through.
I've got a great piece for today.
Okay, good.
Go ahead.
I'll just, so we're in this one called saintliness, and I just thought that this would be a good thought for today, that the practice of loving kindness is essential to saintliness. He says the Hebrew word which denotes saintliness is derived from the same root as that which denotes kindness. The practice of loving kindness is one of the three things upon which, according to our sages, the world is based. So what does it really mean to be loving and kind? It means to enter into this deeds, right? Deeds that are kind. Because the Torah begins and ends with loving kindness as a divine act, it says in the Talmud. Three traits that are compassion, the sense of busha, shame,
Gimilut Chasadim, yeah.
and loving kindness. And so I remember studying once that place where Abraham and Sarah make a feast for the weaning of
The freedom of their son.
the freedom of it ends up being the freeing of their son. So this act of loving kindness, and the word for wean is yigmol, the same root as gamilut, hasidim.
Give them freedom, you give them kindness.
The lifting up, the freedom.
Yeah, it's a kind act.
Yeah, it's a kind act to think about the letting go. I mean, it's a hard thing to do because the baby's going to cry, right? The baby's going to cry. It's not what the baby wants in that moment, but ultimately it is the best thing for the baby, this notion of weaning and letting go and giving freedom. It's like letting a child walk. You have to let them fall. So that's I think part of what we learn in this path to saintliness is we have to figure out what it really means to be kind. It's not always obvious, but we have to work at that notion of kindness.
I'm going to offer up a piece that gives a variation on this approach of the Ramchal. It's not exactly developmental. My piece is a little bit different.
Okay.
It's more, image will be more circular or cyclical. Converges on something that is inviolable and present at the center. At the center. It's called unconventional. I think this is a little bit of an unconventional thought. This is unconventional. The conventional wisdom is linear, developmental, sequential, and so is personality, as if who we are today is on some linear route from who we were as a kid. But what I understand was that we all are what we have always been. That like a painting, a sculpture, a photo that renders the essence, we are that boy, that girl, that child, that adult. We are that before we are known and after we die. That's who you are. That's who I am. This is what I have always been, like a planting, from the moment my soul took root in my body, maybe before. We are the person we might be, the person we wanted to be, the person we have always been. And there is something about the developmental sequence of personhood that is not true to the deeper reality of each of us. I look at myself in the mirror now and I say, I'm in here. The thing I am. I go to visit someone and I look into their eyes and I see, you're in there. The thing you are. I'm in here and you're in there, and in some way the person you have always been is in there. The person I have always been is in here. Personhood is not a jewel we protect and build a vault around. It's not the truth about ourselves, and if we can't get at the truth about ourselves, how will we tell the truth about others? And how will we come to know the world inside, from the inside out? I'm in here and you're in there. The thing I am, the thing you are. And when I peer into your eyes, I see everything. The eye is a thief. It snatches the partial and mistakes it for the whole. Only everything is everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of going through another
That's a piece.
portal to figuring out what it means to be kind. What it really means.
First
to
we go
support
inside,
another.
then we go outside.
That's what Buckminster Fuller said. You got to go in
Say hi to
to
Diane.
go out. Hey, Diane.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you, as they say
Countdown.
in Texas, where I'm
And
from.
don't forget, tomorrow night is the full
Sukkot.
moon of
Uh-oh.
Sukkot.
Tell me what you know. When the
Right.
moon is full, tell me what you've drawn down. What's new? What's new this year?
Mm.
Ciao, baby.